I know. I remember seeing. I forget what his tag was, but I saw another Piranha Plant versus another Steve at a previous fusion, and the matchup actually didn't look too bad. Um,
Okay.
Piranha Plant, because the Poison Cloud that goes straight through blocks. It does not care about it, and can help really build up the damage on Steve. But also, Pirahna Plant has the downfall of being a big, heavily juggleable body against a character like Steve that loves to just get his combos going.
Yes. I mean, this is already we're seeing some pretty good setups here from SnoopDan. Marcus, very much taking his time, trying to figure out this matchup. Because as much as Marcus is a veteran of the game and is a veteran of this game, Steve Plant I can't imagine is a highly contested matchup.
Yeah, definitely some very unexplored territory. Okay, safely cracking some gold there behind that block wall. But yeah, Piranha Plant. So as we're seeing, he's just kind of SnoopDan's throwing out all these Poison Clouds and the Patuis over the wall. That's good because, yeah, right there, Patui, such a strong move, and it's actually able to pick up a just kind of KO out of seemingly nowhere there. It's a move that you have to respect, and is honestly a top 5 move on a bottom 5 character.
Yeah. Oh man. Ready for all these Patui confirms.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting. Patui also kind of acts like a pseudo counter because as long as you have it out, if you get hit, it'll fall down. Up smash scoops him, but it doesn't quite kill. The heft of Piranha Plant coming in clutch there.
Yeah. Oh, but you got okay. So you have to that's one of the that seems like one of those things where you have to accept that Smash is a 2-player game.
Yeah.
It's I feel like a lot of setup characters can fall into this trap occasionally, where it might take a lot of mental overhead to set up your Patui and your Poison Cloud, and you have to remember that your opponents are doing stuff at that time as well.
Yeah, and Steve does heavily benefit from not interacting with the opponent. Gives him time to build up the resources, craft better tools, and then by the time he gets to fight you, all Piranha Plant can do is throw out Poison Cloud that's fully charged, which can, that can rack up some damage. But Steve has a lot of potent kill options when his resources are fully stockpiled.
Yes, very much so.
Oh
no!
Missing those tech is unfortunate. Not able to.
So tragic.
Trying to drift up and then just it's just at some point it's just
Steve
gravity's
good,
working against it. Yeah. Okay, so
SnoopDan kind of taking what's given to them, as far as if with Marcus sitting back, putting up the walls, mining the blocks. SnoopDan has options in that situation. They can lob Patui over it, and they can charge up side B as well.
Look at shield damage.
Yeah, this very much appears to be Marcus trying to figure out the Piranha Plant matchup more than it is SnoopDan trying to figure out the Steve matchup.
Yeah, well, because you got a lot of really competitive Steve players in the New Jersey region. Piranha Plants, not as much. But,
no! And after all that, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I didn't realize that SnoopDan was on his last time.
I know, yeah, that was actually a relatively even matchup throughout the whole thing. But then Marcus just having that diamond, and with SnoopDan being in a vulnerable position with the end lag from that down B, it's gonna be unfortunate. But yeah, here we see the stage spike. So Marcus parries the first hit, tries to go off and punish it with the pickaxe, we saw him do successfully to finish the game off, but just misses the tech on the stage. And yeah, there we go. Piranha Plant's so vulnerable once that move is done, but the armor that it gives you while you're charging can definitely catch people off. So we're gonna go game 2 back on small battlefield once again.
So this is game 2, and this was going to be true regardless of whether SnoopDan won game 1 or not. Game 2 against a player like Marcus is always going to be a test of how much you're bringing to the table in terms of mix-ups. Because we've seen, over the years, we've seen Marcus get into these long drawn-out sets, and even I know this is just a best of 3, but these long drawn-out sets where he just figures you out. And Steve is a character that really allows for that kind of playstyle because you can put up the wall and you can just sit and take time to think. So SnoopDan's going to have to keep bringing new mix-ups to the table if he doesn't want this to really be a snowball.
Yeah, and Pirahna Plant does struggle trying to be the aggressor in situations, because Pirahna Plant really likes it when their opponent is off stage, because ledge trapping is insane, but you have to push the advantage to get to that point, and Steve is really good at punishing players that try to push that advantage in spots where you cannot. So yeah, down B also has a very strong damage against shields, so that's something that Marcus is going to have to be aware of going forward in this set.
And he's done a pretty good job mitigating it, but wow, just gets sniped underneath the blocks there.
Yeah, like using the Poison Cloud to hide your down B charge on Pirahna Plant is like a day one thing.
Yeah.
But that still gets people because it is very strong and you might not always expect it.
For sure. Oh wow, insane pressure string there from SnoopDan.
Yeah, being above Pirahna Plant is a scary place to be, actually.
Yeah.
Going for these down tilts. Ooh, great use of the hugging the stage to avoid the fire and then safely gets back.
But speaking of no fly zones,
Yeah.
That up smash, I feel like Steve's you know that Steve's toolkit is good when like I don't really have my ears to the ground quite like you, Flygon.
Yeah.
But I feel like people don't complain about Steve up smash quite as much as they do like some of these other moves. You know, character's moveset is good when like that move can fly under the radar.
Oh yeah, like this, it's heavily disjointed. It can scoop very easily. But then again, we just saw Pirahna Plant do that exact same thing. But yeah, Pirahna Plant's up smash is another very scary move that, you know, people kind of flies under people's radars and can really take some early stocks for those that are unaware. But we are sitting here with a full stock lead for SnoopDan. Of course, as I say that, Marcus is going to get a very good combo going here. Ooh, trying to drop the anvil. I thought that was a footstool for a second.
Yeah, cute little footstool there.
Okay, Marcus very cleverly using the blocks to jump above the Poison Cloud to get back without taking too much damage.
And doing a really good job on this final stock, just to rack up damage. Because you figure he has to get a little bit more work done before he starts looking for the kill here. And then he's got to do it again. And he's got to do it as cleanly as possible because Pirahna Plant's a character that, like, you get hit, like, you let the percent climb, and then you're going to spend your entire final stock, if you get there, like, trying to dodge Patui, trying to dodge down B, and all that stuff. It just because, oh, man, and up smash, too.
Through the minecart.
Oh, my goodness, just getting pinballed.
Yeah. Yeah. However, it's worth noting Marcus has the diamond on deck. This is, oh boy, 69%, very quick.
Nice.
Getting close to evening it out. Yeah, nice indeed. Yeah, just playing a very safe game. And yeah, SnoopDan knows that they cannot afford to be too aggressive in the situation because if they lose this stock, that's it for their winners bracket life. Oh, that was a Patui.
Wow, hiding it in the gas cloud again.
Yeah. Man, SnoopDan just been saying, let's smoke out, tossing a smoke grenade, pulling these like CS:GO flanks on people.
Using the utility, you gotta use the utility.
Yeah, dude, I bet he probably plays like Jet or Brimstone in like Valorant.
I got nothing here.
Yeah.
I defer to you.
I don't watch too much of that game anymore because I tried playing Valorant and I was just like, man, these teenagers are
yeah.
This is a Marcus classic.
Yes, it is. One of the characters along with Palutena that I feel really put Marcus on the map in this game.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Using the bucket to reflect the Poison Cloud. So the bucket only absorbs, I believe, it's physical projectiles and it reflects special projectiles. Yeah. So reflecting Pirahna Plant's Poison Cloud.
Other way around, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Absorb special, reflects physical.
Yeah. Well, regardless. Being able to reflect Pirahna Plant's Poison Cloud is a scary thing for Pirahna Plant because it already does so much damage when it's charged. And reflecting it back and boosting that damage can really be detrimental to a character like Pirahna Plant that needs... Oh, what was that again?
Oh, no!
Launch angle.
PS2 claims another victim. But, I mean, like... This is, like, you can see the game plan clear as day here from Marcus. And because that's the one thing that Steve doesn't have is a reflector.
Yep. Okay, good grab. He's going to follow it up with Nair. Oh, it's a one. That's unfortunate. But, you know, who needs skill when you have luck?
Yeah.
Okay. And now we're going to see classic Pirahna playing gameplay here.
Oh,
Oh, up
sucker
smash in
man.
the cloud. I'm loving these smokes, man. It's
Yeah.
starting to look like beasts at the venue with how much smoke is there.
Find him on Twitter, flag on the TO, people.
Oh, that's an amazing tech.
Yes, that's the text you need to hit in order to make these games competitive.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, like techs are always so important to hit, especially when you have as big of a gap as there is. But as we say that, the back air is going to take that stock over 170. Game & Watch back air is going to be killing almost any character at that percent.
And it is. I don't want to make too big a deal out of this, but it is pretty tragic, I think, right now that the story of this game appears to be that SnoopDan got pineappled. Because otherwise, this is looking like a pretty competitive game as opposed to a comfortable stock lead for Marcus.
Oh, yeah. All right. Ooh, okay. Oh, he's going to clip into that. Yeah, the one bad thing about Prime Plant's recovery, it only really has a hitbox where the leaves are rotating and is very vulnerable besides that. Ooh, fucking gooey.
And the other trouble with being down a stock like this is that you can't really, like... So... SnoopDan has seemed to be like content to like sit in the reflected poison cloud for a little bit because Pirahna Plant's naturally a much tankier character than Game & Watch, and they can afford to take that damage. But when you're down a stock, you can't really afford to just give damage away like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a game of shield chicken if I've ever seen one. Yeah. Ooh, okay, falling out of the Nair, so no combos into the up air. The platform. Oh, that's a shield break. Yeah, this is going to be a stock taken here. So I don't want to say it's completely lost because, you know,
it's doable.
It's doable, but like SnoopDan's gonna have to play it out of their goddamn mind. Okay. And
now this is exactly where someone like Marcus can feast. You can totally take stray hits. I like the use of the armor, but that's the sort of thing that's gonna work maybe once or maybe twice.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, so some shield damage. Oh, but no tech there. That's gonna be it. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, props to SnoopDan for taking a game off of Marcus and Steve with a Pirahna Plant. Absolutely crazy. But Marcus was just able to adapt, just do the quick swap over to Game & Watch, go back to something that they're most likely more comfortable with, and just take the set. Yeah.
He made what seems like the right read on the situation, which is that I'm hemorrhaging damage here to Batui and I'm hemorrhaging damage to the Poison Cloud. So what can I do to mitigate those two things? And it just so happens that one of his characters has a fantastic tool to deal with that.
Yeah, and even the Palutena had a tool to deal with that. Should Marcus have wanted to go back to the classic Ness as well?
If we want to go real back.
Yeah, if we want to go real back. But yeah, Marcus just having pockets of a pretty decent size there, just reach out, pull out whatever character is needed for the situation. And in a game with like Smash Ultimate with like 70 plus characters, being able to have those additional characters to pull out when you need it cannot be understated as a strength.
Yep. Also, before I forget, shouts out to the Blame RJ tag.
Oh, that's what that is. I was looking at that like, is that like, I was looking at it like, is that like a Swedish word or something, like Bommerge?
it's the shark that you get from IKEA.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's shield break again.
But you know what? Yeah, credit to SnoopDan here for going down in a pivotal game. We talked about mentality at the top of the broadcast, and like I think SnoopDan really dug deep there in Game 3 to bring it to a last stock situation, because those are the kinds of games where like it's a winnable set, and you have forced your opponent to make a character switch. Like you're clearly forcing some amount of respect out of them, and then it opens up like that. Like you really have to dig deep just to get the game to like a potentially winnable state. And SnoopDan definitely did that. Snoop Dogg could have also done that, but he's not on stream right now.